Imagine this. एक ऐसी जगह जहां ऑफिशियल गवर्नमेंट बोर्ड एक्चुअली वार्न्स पीपल टू स्टे अवे आफ्टर डार्क। हम बात कर रहे हैं राजस्थान के अरावली पहाड़ों में छिपे भांगड़ फोर्ट की। टूटे हुए महल, सुनसान बाजार और एक अजीब सी चिलिंग वाइब। लोग तो यहां तक कहते हैं कि जो भी रात को इस किले में गया ना, वो कभी वैसा वापस नहीं आया। सो व्हाट्स द रियल स्टोरी? आज के इस डीप डाइव में वी आर गोइंग टू एक्सप्लोर द डार्क एलीज ऑफ भांगड़, जहां हिस्ट्री, रूमर्स और कर्सेस आपस में बिल्कुल उलझ गए हैं। Let's decode this mystery together.
Now, you might be wondering about that warning board I just mentioned. It's an official Archaeological Survey of India, or ASI warning board, right at the entrance, and it clearly states entry is prohibited after sunset and before sunrise. I mean, usually historical monuments have timings, right? But in Bhangarh's case, is एक simple line ने लोगों के दिलों में इतना खौफ पैदा कर दिया है कि the rumor mill just went into overdrive, connecting it straight to the paranormal.
So the real question we need to ask today is, क्या सच में यहाँ कोई पैरानॉर्मल एक्टिविटी है? Is it really a hub for ghosts? या फिर ये वक्त के मारे एक ruined kingdom की बहुत ही tragic कहानी है? To figure this out, we literally need to peel back the layers of history first.
Let's ground ourselves in some actual historical facts. ये भानगढ़ फोर्ट, जो अलवर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सरिस्का टाइगर रिजर्व के बिल्कुल पास है, It was built back in the 16th and 17th centuries. आमेर के राजा भगवंत दास ने इसे अपने बेटे माधो सिंह के लिए बनवाया था। और पता है, अपने गोल्डन एरा में this wasn't some spooky ruin. It was a thriving, prosperous city with massive palaces, beautiful temples और bustling bazaars. But present day में, it's just an ASI protected ruin.
Just think about the sheer contrast between the two eras. एक तरफ आपका 16th century भांगड़ है, a completely thriving city. Bazaars were bustling with life. मंदिरों में घंटियों की आवाज गूंजती थी. It was a place of peace and prosperity. Fast forward to today, और क्या बचा है? Broken walls, absolutely empty houses, और एक ऐसी बेजान, eerie silence. It's almost like वक्त वहाँ बिल्कुल रुक सा गया हो. Actually, coming back to that famous nightman, the truth behind it is way more practical than you'd think. SIK के जो restrictions हैं ना, they are strictly for visitor safety and wildlife protection. किला घाने जंगल और सरिस्का टाइगर रिजर्व के बॉर्डर पे है। रात में वाइल्ड एनिमल्स लिटरली रोम अराउंड दीज रूइंस। प्लस अंधेरे में इन टूटी हुई इमारतों में घूमना इज जस्ट अ मैसिव सेफ्टी हैजर्ड। लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स लोगों ने इस बोरिंग प्रैक्टिकल रूल को एक डरावनी घोस्ट स्टोरी में ट्विस्ट कर दिया, cementing its status as India's most haunted fort.
Which brings us to the first major part of our analysis, the twin curses, where folklore takes over fact. Let's look at the famous local folktales that built this reputation. But remember, what we're about to discuss are purely myths, not official historical records. So the most dramatic and frankly famous legend involves a dark sorcerer named Singhia and the beautiful Princess Ratnavati. The story goes that Singhia was absolutely obsessed with the princess. To win her over, usne ek kala jadoo kiya on the princess's perfume. He bewitched it, like the princess suspected foul play and threw the bottle away. It smashed against a massive boulder, or phir jadoo ulta pad gaya. That bewitched perfume caused the giant stone to roll down, crushing Singhia to death. But right before he died, he cursed Bhangarh. Usne shraap diya ki ye shahar hamesha ke liye barbad ho jayega and doomed to eternal ruin. Crazy, right? But hey, quick reality check here. While this sounds like the perfect plot for a Bollywood blockbuster, and it definitely works like one, it's strictly a famous local lokkatha, or folklore. You won't find this dramatic tale of magic and curses in any official historical text. It survives purely in local memory as a really captivating ghost story. Now, there's actually a second very popular myth about an ascetic, or a rishi. लोगों का मानना है कि किला जिस जमीन पर बना, वहाँ पहले एक ऋषि का आश्रम था. So, an agreement was made. The fort's walls must never cast a shadow on the rishi's sacred ashram. Simple enough, right? But then came the betrayal. Later rulers got greedy, built taller structures, and boom, the forbidden shadow fell on the ashram. Enraged, the rishi cursed the entire kingdom into ruins. The public absolutely loves these stories. Ascetics and dark magic are way more fun to talk about. But historical reality paints a completely different picture. Historians actually point to much more logical, devastating causes for the city's downfall. Things like intense political shifts, brutal warfare with neighboring kingdoms, or even a severe drought. I mean, logical reasons destroy a city, but it's the myths that make it immortal, right? All right, let's fast forward to the present day to look at some modern mysteries and what happens when the sun goes down. Dinkiwak, it's just a beautiful heritage site tourists are snapping selfies exploring. It's totally normal. But the narrative completely flips into a literal nightmare after sunset.
Just listen to what thrill seekers and locals claim happens after dark. People have reported hearing eerie laughter and the sound of someone running through the empty corridors. Others swear they've heard the chilling sound of anklets, yani payal, and old music echoing around. Add to that, sudden cold gusts of wind hitting you out of nowhere, mobile phones mysteriously glitching and dying, and this overwhelming sudden feeling of uneasiness and dread. It honestly sounds terrifying.
But, and this is absolutely crucial to note, despite the thousands of viral videos floating around social media and guides telling spooky tales to attract tourists, there is exactly zero scientific proof for any of these claims, not a single shred of official evidence. Yes, these stories have successfully turned Bhangarh into a massive haunted brand, but officially, nothing has ever been verified.
So how do we explain all these terrifying experiences? Let's bring in the logic and pit science against the spook. Because when you analyze this location through a scientific lens, you realize the fort is basically a natural horror movie set. Let's break down those claims side by side with science. Those mysterious sounds and voices, it's literally just the wind howling through centuries-old broken structures. It creates echoes and low-frequency infrasound that naturally makes humans feel creeped out. What about the spooky shows? Well, combine the natural topography of the dark Aravalli Hills with thick forest and moonlight, you naturally get terrifying shadows. And that feeling of dread, psychologists call it psychological priming. When you are repeatedly told a place is cursed, your brain is already on high alert, turning every rustling leaf into a ghost. Which leads us to our final verdict. The real ghost is human imagination. At the end of the day, it's a perfect storm. You have this ruined, imposing architecture, howling winds through empty corridors, and shadows playing tricks on you. Your brain takes all these environmental cues, panics, and invents horror stories to fill in the gaps. There's a brilliant quote that sums this up perfectly. There might not be a spirit there, but the ghost of the human mind certainly keeps this fort alive. And that's exactly what Bhangarh is today. It's a fascinating blend of history, fear, and our own imagination. We are the ones keeping the paranormal vibe alive. So what do you guys think? Cursed home of dark spirits? Or just a deeply misunderstood ruin that we've projected our own fears onto? More importantly, knowing everything we just discussed, would you actually dare to visit alone after dark? Let me know your final verdict in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next one.